Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bitch Sesh, the Real Housewives Breakdown Show.
I'm Casey Wilson.
I'm Danielle Schneider.
So happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here, too.
How are you?
I'm good. I had a nice Labor Day.
Oh.
It was lovely. How about you?
Great. I've been traveling like crazy.
Have been.
I truly don't even remember where. Oh, yeah, I went to Napa. I was like, where did I go? And then I just flew back on, went sadly to a funeral on a red eye last night and then was there for 5 hours and just flew back. So I'm all topsy-turv.
I know you are, but you look great. And that's all that really matters.
Really?
You do. You look fantastic. Your skin is glowing.
Guys.
That airplane air has weirdly affected you in a wonderful way. It zaps me from head to toe. I've never walked off of a plane without a pimple. They build themselves.
I have a cold. I'm crying.
Yeah, no, I get a pimple. And here's the one thing that I am crazy about.
This is like your airplane, Seinfeld stand-up.
No, it's not even airplane, but why am I still getting zits? I'd like to know. Why? I thought that I would have acne and then...
I think after you have a kid, it recycles through your... Yeah, I think something with the hormones.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But it's been 3 years.
Mills, stay with us.
Mills, do I need to start proactive? Get into that pyramid scheme?
My brother said that Proactive ruined his credit for life.
Oh, it did me too. The boxes kept coming and I couldn't stop it. I had to move. They're seriously probably still coming to an apartment on 6th Street in New York City.
I feel David Miscavige owns Proactive.
Oh yeah, those women.
Where is Shelley?
Rodan and Fields, isn't that who it's by? Who Ramona always is.
She'd always touting
shilling for. She does a terrible job. She just cuts and pastes their copy. So it's Ramona, we'd like you to say this, and that's in the copy of her Instagram, which is my favorite.
Ramona, next time try not to cut and paste it, Rodan Fields.
Or just half of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm still getting acne. Anyway, airplanes, what?
They're crazy. I'll tell you, on my flight back from Napa, I was sitting next to, as my aunt would say, who was staying with my son, a gal. Oh, Lord. Who my husband and I and our friend Jane was sitting behind us, and she was so abhorrent that, of course, Jane tapped me and said, you have to tape this for the podcast.
Jane, she's a minx.
Yeah, she was on it. And so I taped it, and we've transcribed it into a little monologue. And I'd like to just a little bit. When Please I tell you, this was a monologue that was screamed to the entire Virgin Airlines.
To a phone? Into
her phone while we were taxied on the runway for about 30 minutes. She was, okay, now what she's wearing is, I can't even describe it. It's a black tank with what the Mills are, less than Mills, younger than Mills are wearing. It's it was totally crop top, but shredded at the stomach.
On an airplane, it's so cold.
Listen, Grandma. Then she was wearing
a shawl?
A Yeezy sweatshirt, a purple sweatshirt with Life of Pablo on the back, really? Kanye's new line. And then she had a baby, I think it's pronounced Givenchy.
Yeah, okay.
Is that wrong?
I would say Givenchy.
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 Where?
In my head, it's Givenchy.
In mine, it's Givenchy.
Let McNogny.
Hard G. I use a hard G.
And she had her little baby purse with a little puff pom-pom and crazy nails.
How old are we talking?
Oh, we're talking 19, I think. So this is what she's hitting the entire plane with, and this is just a portion of it. Okay. I'm going to make cuts as I go. So this is where we pick up. What I can understand from her is that she's just been to a family wedding. Oh. But for some reason, she's talking to both her parents, who are apparently on 2 different phones.
Were they not at the wedding?
It doesn't seem that they were. And I couldn't make heads or tails of why that was. But she was updating her parents on her cousin. I feel I should have changed his name. I'm going to change his name right now.
Yeah, okay.
On her cousin Brad's wedding.
Okay.
So she hates Brad's wife. So her cousin is Brad. She hates Brad's wife, whose name is Yasmin.
Okay. Got it.
And they're petty. Maybe I spoke up and I said something to them, but at least I don't talk behind people's backs. You know what I mean? They'll walk around and they don't talk to me. They don't talk to me at all. Okay. And I gotta say, there's this one girl, Ashley, who's friends with Yasmin. Oh, by the way, when I did go up there to get hair and makeup, she's all pissed off at me, and I'm standing there waiting, and she's putting her eyelashes on. The makeup person's oh, do you have eyelash glue? And she was no. And I was here you go. And standing there, and then she was oh my God, what about finishing spray? And I'm here you go. No, thank you. No, they didn't return it. And I'm I don't even like them. I'm really disappointed in Yasmin, because they're I'm thankful she's not my sister, but I am upset because Brad is a really great guy and he deserves to be with a girl that's not a bitch. You know what, Mom? Because honestly, the photographers are her friends. She hired her own friends to take photos of herself. It's so, Mom, I don't even know. Our family was treated unfair. Honestly, first of all, Mom, she's not the brightest girl. I mean, it's definitely not fair to text message. And first of all, that's not an appropriate way to deliver a message. And like, Mom, I told you a million times. Like, I told a million times. Okay. I mean, okay. She's trying to get pregnant right now. And she's living in Costa Rica, and she was getting bitten by bugs. And she was like, what's Zika? And I was like, oh my God, I'm not even going to talk to you right now. But anyways, so back to the whole thing. I was like, Brad knew something was going on, and he came and found me at one point. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just using the restroom because it has like AC, and the other one's like burning hot. And he's like, oh, you're just using the restroom? He's like, everything okay? I'm like, everything's great. And he's like, cousin, you can't lie to me. I know you. And he's like, I know you. And I'm like, another day, another time. This is your wedding night. We're having a great time. I'm very happy for you. And he's like, all right, fair enough. Okay. And I fully intend to have words with Yasmin. Fully intend. And I will, but it will be appropriate. Okay. Skipping down. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, she's so disgusting. Yasmin, I thought she was cool, but the way she treated Brad at the rehearsal dinner, she got up and yelled, shut the fuck up in front of his whole family. Yelled at him to Brad in front of her whole family. And this is the most retarded part. She brought a fucking cat home. He's allergic to cats. And so, it was the dumbest thing. It was like, he's like, no, I'm allergic to cats. And she's all, he's making it up. Like, how do you get in a fight in front of your family about a cat? Like, she's a bridezilla psycho. And is like, I've had it and stormed away. Like, that's so embarrassing. She told her soon-to-be husband to shut the fuck up in front of her entire family. Mommy, Daddy, you guys were the longest married couple there. I guess her parents were there. I'm realizing. She goes,
but why is she?
And then she goes, well, I'll just finish. It's 2 more lines. She goes, ooh, Mommy and Daddy, you guys were the longest married couple there. Daddy, you looked so cute in your text. Oh, you guys are so cute. What are you married, like 37, 38 years? Oh, you're 40? I thought you were 38. I'll have to have a party for you. Well, whatever. I'll call you guys later. I'm getting on the plane. I'm on the plane. Okay, I'm talking. Okay, I'll call you guys later. I love you. Bye.
Wow.
This girl was actually quite nice when I talked to her.
I bet she's lovely. She reminds me of myself.
Oh, me too. I mean, she had a lot going on.
I mean, she's a nightmare, but so am I. And so I have questions though.
Yeah.
Here are my questions. And I don't know, again, you were just there listening to the conversation. You might not be able to answer them. But
sure, I'll try.
Do you think that she might be in love with her cousin?
Honestly, that's a great point, and I think she is, like, because you're right. It smacks of that. It
smacks of something more,
especially when he's like cousin. He's like, exactly. I know you. I know. I mean, I don't know if Yasmin is a bad girl. Like, I don't know. She seems okay to me. I mean, it's not great to say shut the fuck up in front of a family at the rehearsal dinner.
True, and she shouldn't have brought home a cat if he's allergic.
And she shouldn't be around Zika.
Okay, you're right. No, now is it Catherine? Is it Yasmin? That is trying to get pregnant. Yasmin trying to get pregnant, and she doesn't know about Zika.
I'm just realizing I didn't change Yasmin's name, so everyone no tagging and no posting, and pretend I changed it to Carla.
So Carla / Yasmin.
Yeah.
She's the one that also is
trying to get pregnant. That's what I think. Okay. That's what I think. I
think this girl might have like a little bit of a love for her cousin that's inappropriate.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my takeaway.
Well, that was just, I call that segment Girl on a Plane.
Instead of Girl on the Train?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. They should make a movie of it.
I would. Speaking of, great segue.
Oh, that is a segue. Yeah. I wasn't even trying to.
We have a movie review.
From Matt McConkey. Is that the theme song?
Uh-huh.
Matt McConkey's movie reviews.
Matt has reviewed something I'm sure all the millennials rushed out to see. A little movie called Florence Foster Jenkins.
Ask your grandma. She's seen it.
Which I'm going to let Danielle read, but he has renamed Flo Jenky.
All right, here it goes, guys. Meryl Streep plays Flo Jenky, a tone-deaf woman with delusions of singing whose husband marries her for money. How cool to see Luann's life story dramatized as such. Flo Jenky is the perfect movie to take your mom to. Spoiler alert, she'll love it. Even though Simon Helberg's character gets gangbanged by a group of sailors against his will, spoiler alert, he likes it, and Hugh Grant looks like he's wearing old age prosthetics. Spoiler alert, he's not. Forget 4 weddings and a funeral. This guy needs 4 units of Botox and Juvederm. Goodbye, friends. I'll see you in hell. 4 stars!
There he goes. You know, he gives every movie 4 stars.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about his reviews.
He doesn't like any of the movies, it seems, but he loves them.
No,
and
and
that's what I love about his reviews.
I texted him, and I hope this isn't offensive to anyone, but it was truly one of the, I almost felt it was homophobic because I texted him and just said, and I did pick him specifically. Okay. I said, want to come over on Friday night and watch Mommy Dearest? And then he's like, I thought you'd never ask.
That's a hate crime.
I know. It's
and
awful.
Yet I will be here as well because I am a gay man.
Yeah, you are.
Myself one.
And so is our next guest. What we'll get to her.
Yeah, she is, and we'll talk about her in a second.
We'll get to her soon.
True
gay man.
Gay man.
But guys, hold on to your fucking hats
because something huge happened this week that I'm still giddy from. I still have like goose pimples from it.
I almost can't believe I wasted our time with that like girl on a plane because this is so explosive. If you're driving, pull over.
This is more explosive.
If you're drinking, continue.
Yes, this is.
I
just say it. You have to just say it.
Okay. Well, okay. So it's when I'm flustered. Since Danielle and I started this podcast, we truly thought, you know, and I know people say this about like their movies, very like humble braggy, like I had no idea anyone would ever listen.
Yeah, we thought we would be shouting into the void. Like it was just us and 2 microphones and no one listening.
But someone is listening and they've made contact.
We're not talking about space aliens because that's who fucking cares about that.
And you guys have been amazing. We've all gathered every little bit we could of boots on the ground intel. But as you said, Danielle,
there's only one big boot.
And we've made contact. Andy Cohen has listened to the podcast. He has reached out. He has given us some clarifications.
Guys,
he's listening.
He's listening. He's here with us. He's here with us.
And it's so crazy because I mean, I don't even know what to say.
I know. It was as if we spoke to the Lord. Like, you know, like I bet is how the Virgin Mary felt when God touched her belly and put Jesus inside of it. Is that how it works?
I want to touch the hem of his garment.
Yes. Will we turn to stone? I don't know.
And you know, here's the thing. Like what we have at this point is a passing acquaintanceship.
Yes. I have stood as bartender on his show and basked in his glory.
Well, but stirred drinks in his wake.
Stirred drinks, and he maybe flitted an eyelid toward me.
And here he is tweeting, direct messaging me.
Yeah.
So it comes in. Now, I didn't even see it because I don't really check this that much. And I see a message that just knocks my socks off. He's very complimentary of the podcast because he's such a generous, nice, warm-hearted person.
Lovely. Handsome and lovely.
So first, he's complimentary. I won't bore you with that. He's very friendly. He really loved Brian Safi as our guest last week. And then my mind is reeling. What have I said? What have I said? Well, the clarification started pouring in from him. He clarified a few things.
Yes. And we wanted to clarify for everyone's sake because we've all had different sources tell us different things about the truths of the show and the truths about Andy's life.
And I explained to him, you know, Danielle and I are ambulance chasers.
Oh, yeah.
Just chasing after the housewives and reporting on car crashes.
Whatever tidbits we can get.
Whatever hot tip we get, we report.
Whether it's true or false, we don't check.
And we don't check. Never proud of it. And no, it's probably wrong.
Yeah.
Turns out we were wrong about a few things, Danielle.
So here's what's true.
Okay.
According to Mr. Andy Christ Cohen.
Andrew Christ Cohen. Okay. So concerning Tom and Luann right off the bat, he just says legit. Bethany got the pic from an acquaintance of hers. It had nothing to do with producers. He said we were not shooting the night at the Regency as we had reported earlier. This is a retraction.
Yeah, we were placing a retraction.
And we've known things were wrong before. Never made a retraction.
No,
don't
never.
have time.
No, and I mean, should we print this in the Times? Perhaps.
I want to take out a full page ad, and I
in the Daily Mail.
Yes,
our paper of choice.
I stood corrected. I really did, and I think I stood in my shame and owned up.
Stood in our own urine.
Yes. He said basically we didn't film at the Regency. Had we filmed earlier that night at the Regency, we would have shown it. And that makes perfect sense. That makes
total sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Like, and the cameraman probably would have just turned on the cameras. They had them with them.
Or at the very least, we should have shown a pic.
Yeah, I mean, on their phone.
Now, he didn't say this, so I'm taking a leap. But I think what he was implying, and maybe I'm wrong, is like the housewives are up to their own. They're doing bad all by themselves.
Yeah.
They don't need the producers slipping photos and this, that, and the other.
No, they got their troubles.
They got their woes
all
by themselves. So that was the first thing. The second thing was something I brought up. I said, frankly, I don't believe that they're soliciting real questions for the reunion.
Yeah. We said they're liars and they're cheats. I believe is what, did we say that?
I said, I don't believe this. And he said, actually, they're all incredibly real. As tonight, Amanda from Toluca Lake and Addison from Bismarck, North Dakota is real. The people are real.
I know. In fact, one of those people that we were like, this is a fake name. Whose stupid name is this? And then that person contacted me on Facebook and was like, I'm real. I live in Toluca Lake, bitch. Like,
I love it. Someone who's just like, I am real.
I'm alive. I'm breathing. I think they got his city wrong. I think they said Studio City, and he was like, Shepherd. Hi, Shepherd. Thanks for contacting us.
No, and that's a retraction I stand behind. I'm proud to make. I was wrong.
We were wrong.
And Andy said he solicits questions from on Facebook, and that it's all 100% legit.
So again, we are sorry. We made that up.
And there's one more thing.
There's a huge thing.
So then we go back and forth. I was going to say a few times, but it's much like with Luann, with Tom and Sonia. How many times? Twice. Okay, we didn't go back and forth a few times.
Yeah, it was twice.
He was very sweet. I apologize. He said, never apologize for having a passion for housewives and reporting on because I appreciate.
No, I love that he insists we do it.
Yes, he was so sweet. He did make one last clarification because I believe, and I haven't had the heart to go back and listen, so please no one send me what I said because I don't want to hear, but I believe I may have insinuated that Andrew was dating someone a bit younger than he was.
Yes.
And his last line to me was, and also my boyfriend is 29, exclamation point. So there you have it, folks.
So guys, in case you were curious, in case we spread lies and slander, know that here's the right answer. We will spread more lies and slander again. So if anyone wants to correct us, please feel free, especially Andrew. But yes, we stand corrected.
As we always say, bravo.
Exactly. We will never correct you, Andy. We can only be corrected.
And it's amazing because I wouldn't have a housewife on here or kind of give them credence in a way, but Andy is the godfather he's the reason for the season.
He's the reason I've made every dime I've ever made. I truly believe that.
That's why I said we're ambulance chasers.
We are. Like he is. If his career didn't exist, where would I be? Homeless? Perhaps.
It was so thrilling.
Begging for alms on the street?
It was so thrilling.
Yeah, so we're so excited.
It was so exciting that he even listened and was so generous.
And we should all feel excited because,
this is a win for all of us. We all won today.
We all matter today.
Yeah. Should we take a little break?
Yes.
We're back.
Now, we're very excited to have this person on our podcast. She is a dear friend.
She is.
Stereo.
I mean, there's only one way to put it.
She is so funny.
We've known this woman for, I won't say a long time, years and years.
Yes, years and years.
This is a dear friend of ours, an amazing comedian and writer.
And she has her own podcast.
It's funny as fuck.
And I'm sure you guys are listening, but if you're not, it's called Rana and Beverly, and it's fucking hilarious.
It's co-hosted with Jessica Chaffin, who does our Jersey correspondent.
You almost said Joyzy correspondent, which sounds correct.
In the spirit of Rana and Bev.
Please welcome Jamie Denbo.
Hello.
Jamie.
Wow.
Jamie and Denbo.
I am so sorry you had to sit silently. It's like keeping a basketball player on the bench.
It was fabulously
That was a great sports analogy, Casey.
That was really good.
Thanks, guys.
I love sports ball. I'm enjoying every moment of this. I feel honored to be here when you're reporting on being blessed by St. Andrew.
I know. No, full disclosure.
St. Andrew.
Full disclosure. Jamie is not a huge Housewives fan, but sometimes we like to have one of our very funny friends come in and give fresh eyes, as we like to call it.
Fresh eyes.
Because to see it through a babe's eyes is exhilarating.
Well, and I'll tell you, the truth is like I this was the very first full episode I've ever watched. I have seen bits of many,
which is shocking to me because how could you turn away once you've seen a little?
Well, because I usually see like a piece on a plane, or like I'm in the middle of watching something else, or like I catch it at the end. Like it's just not been appointment viewing for me, and I know that makes me so unusual amongst all of the funny, brilliant comedian friends I have. And so I understand.
I think it makes you dignified.
Well, no. Look, I still watch fucking horrible, terrible things.
I will get into some of that.
But I get, like, I know some of the main storylines. Like, I know Teresa went to jail.
Yeah.
And I know that other one married...
The other one.
The other one. Leanne Rimes is married to Brandy Glanville's
ex-husband. Yeah.
So you get things. It's like when a stream trickles into a river. Like you get it.
Yes, I'm catching a little bit. I have a
But
very
it's
small
kind
net.
of, as Casey and I have been saying, all you need to know. Like,
Well, and it's honestly, it's everything that I imagined it was, except that I had to write down a lot of thoughts as I was having them.
Your face, I took a photo of you, was flabbergasted.
I think because I was so right. Like I knew exactly what I was going to see, and then it happened. And I think I was also trying to figure out if there was something more that I was missing.
that's the best drama.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen, and then it does.
But yet, let's not dance over what you just said, which was that you were wondering if you're missing something. And the answer is no.
Okay.
It is what it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
It is what it is. It doesn't pretend to be anything it's not.
Can I ask some questions?
Please
that I
do.
jotted
Please
down?
do.
And I know this may seem a little boring or maybe, but like I need to know like what is the shooting schedule? Like how long does it take to shoot? How long is the season?
Great question.
But I ask because like I need to know.
Because you care.
Well, I just want to know if it happens over like 3 weeks or 6 months.
6 months, I think.
I
is
think
closer.
like
So they
4 months.
Yeah, like it started
4 months?
Again, I
started-
have no idea.
again,
a season.
I know we hit Christmas at some point. And I know we had like a fall festival.
And we started on the 4th of July.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to tell because they don't mark.
Okay, that's
time.
what I'm wondering. So like how are they shooting them all day every day?
No, I think what we've come to sort of understand, and maybe will be corrected by SA, is that they get call sheets like much like at our jobs.
Okay.
And I think they film full days, and when they're shooting, they're on. But they might have one scene that day, which would be like a lunch, or I mean, they're rolling.
Okay.
I also believe that it depends on what's going on in their lives at the time. Like it can stretch over months, but because Luann's engagement, like courtship
That took
to
over the whole
engagement,
season.
that took over kind of the season, and that seemed to be about 6-7 weeks tops. So
That seems to be about 97 weeks.
yeah, so it's hard to tell. But then there were 3 episodes spread out over the Berkshires, and that was maybe 24 hours. So it depends what's going on.
Okay, here are some things I wrote down. Their bodies are young. Their hair is young, but their hearts are old.
Wow, was that a haiku?
And then I wrote Syria, Syria, Syria. And then I wrote how many?
Serious.
Yeah, I
like we
just-
should be thinking about Syria.
No. Do they know about Syria? Sorry, brought it down.
What would you like them to know about Syria?
I wrote I like Doreen.
I don't think you're going to get very far wondering about like the high ground and like, are they interested in the world? It's like, no.
Okay, so they might be, but we're not.
I don't
focusing.
think they are.
I like Dorinda's mini tooth. I wrote that down. I hope she never fixes it. It's a little snaggle tooth. I wrote, so they do the show, then watch the show, then get mad about what they see on the show.
Exactly. And there you
okay,
have it.
Okay, so a lot of it is like the reunions are all about like them not knowing what's been shot and
what's
what
been
people have
said.
said,
Yes.
and then they get to see it.
Yes, and then they have to speak to it.
It's like watching a giant game of like telephone, like eavesdropping, like watching, seeing what other people are thinking while the other shit is
Which
going
is
on.
if you think about just
I
like-
am jealous that you're watching it through a babe's eyes. You're
But if you
just a
think of it,
babe.
is that so different from a Sherlock mystery?
No,
You know
no.
what I mean? Or like a drawing
It was like
room?
Downton Abbey.
Exactly. Like who said what when she overheard this and that? You know,
And Alaco seems to go on with their blogs. I will admit I don't read any of the blogs. I can't get bogged down with the blogs. I hate myself tonight. I've been on many planes.
Well, that's a full-time fucking job to
thank
read
you.
all of that and do follow all of these people. 'Cause
Yeah.
How many franchises are there?
There's 3 on right now, and I didn't even watch Jersey this week.
it was hard.
I didn't have
It's hard
time
to get to them all, especially when you're in different time zones.
I had to keep up with my cuckoos.
But which is your favorite franchise? Is this like picking a favorite child?
Yeah.
Yes, except for this season, it's made itself pretty darn clear.
New York is my favorite.
New York is my favorite, but then Atlanta and New York have far surpassed everything else. Everything else has been a train wreck, and not in a good way.
I like New York, then Atlanta, then OC.
Yeah, I would agree.
Another observation I made was that Bethany, I personally, just having seen Bethany Frankel over the years on
Again,
the cover
having
of
not
magazines.
seen her.
Only seen her in
have
bits,
seen her in action.
drips and drabbles.
Drips and drabbles, having caught her in my pebble catching at StreamNet. She has a tremendous amount of room between the middle part between her nostrils and the top of her upper lip.
Does
It's
she?
a very
Never
large
noticed.
space. But I also think she's never looked better.
She looks fantastic.
Despite that space?
Yeah, despite the
She's
space.
never looked better. I agree.
And
Guys, it's
You
so
disagree?
hard because she was so generous with the watermelon lime last week. I find her to be so grating and nasty.
She is nasty this season.
I mean, she just says what
And
she
I
thinks.
think she seemed, as she was getting nastier and nastier, like her eyes were bugging out of her head. I felt a little scared.
She also has no give this season. You know what I mean? Like when someone not even comes for her, but when she gets called out on something this season, she's like a little rabid dog. Like she can't like bend to it and see herself.
Well,
She's like,
sociologically,
yeah, I can say whatever I want. And someone's like apologizing.
But don't
Yeah,
you think
Jules.
all of them are like that? Because the funny thing about watching it and realizing that Rana and Beverly are of a certain age, and part of what I think
Explain Rana and Beverly.
Okay, Rana and Beverly are two older women from the greater Boston area.
They're
who are
characters.
Jewish,
Yeah,
they're
your
characters
characters.
that we do. But part of their routine is that they're never wrong. You know, I say what I think. I'm at an age where I can say what I think. These women are literally at an age where they're just like, I know what I know, and it's what I know. And if you don't know it, then you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the story. I mean, that's everything they say is that. Like, well, but I know what I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, they cannot be wrong. It's like the opposite of, you know, what a good therapist I've heard says to people, you can be right or you can be in a relationship. They don't care. They want to be right.
Yeah.
All of them.
And
they are.
you did ask us, speaking of that, a poignant question. I thought you just turned to us and said, are any of these people in a happy relationship? And
Yeah,
we
I did.
said no.
I said, are any of them in a happy marriage?
And it's true because they'd rather be right than be in a relationship. And we're not saying, ladies and gentlemen, that in order to be in a happy, healthy relationship, you lose yourself and you lose who you are.
No,
But you do.
But you do kind of have to shut the fuck
do.
up once in a while. Like
Yeah.
these guys don't. These women do
You
not
have
shut the fuck up.
If you want to be in a marriage, you have to eat your feelings.
And I loved how Bethany, they're like, oh, what did Tom, or who the hell is she dating a Tom too?
Another bald gentleman.
what is going on with this Tom?
Okay, we're going to get to Tom, but I
fuck is
loved
Tom?
Bethany was like, yeah, my boyfriend thinks I'm funny. They're like, really? You were screaming at Luann. She's like, yeah, he likes it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, because I know what I know, and what I know is what I just said. I know. I know it. Like that's the whole thing. But can we talk about Tom? Bald
Yeah.
Tom?
Yes,
So
sure.
this man
Yes.
has made his way into just this season, or he's been on previous seasons?
While we didn't know, he was actually on the second episode of the first season ever. Like came up to them at a bar, like, "Hey, ladies, what's shaking?"
Because he saw the cameras.
I believe.
I don't know, but
so.
Luann said something interesting. The best it made me laugh so hard. It was kind of under her breath. At one point, Sonia was like, yeah, and Tom dates younger men. And Luann's like, he doesn't date young women. And I'm like, I
And
do believe that.
No truer sentence has ever been uttered on the show.
That I believe is not a lie about Tom.
No, Tom likes an older gal. He
not-
likes a handsome lady.
They're not actually housewives.
Well, that's
Jamie.
Jamie. Now
Are
we're getting
any
it.
of them have, when it started out,
I
were they
believe
housewives?
some of the original Orange County women.
Some, but like Gina Kehoe is a realtor, and Lori and Vicky worked.
Lisa Vanderpump, I've heard of her. She has
And she is a
business.
she's a restaurateur.
Yeah.
She's owned many of the greatest clubs in all of Europe.
And some of the finest dining establishments in the greater Los
With some of
Angeles.
the best bathrooms you've ever set your ass in.
But they really like, are any, okay, so, but can I have another question?
Yeah.
Please. Oh, I feel like your audience is gonna be like, shut the fuck, we know all this shit. But like,
I think it's good to recap.
Yeah, I think it's good to find out what
I'm
we know
sorry,
and what
audience.
we don't.
I'm sorry.
And by the way, a lot of people write us and they say, to be honest, we've never seen an episode. And
Okay.
to them, I salute you for listening to this.
You're the true heroes.
yeah, you're the unsung heroes.
We haven't sung your praise enough.
And but I guess my question is like, so they're all of them have, not all of them have grown up with money. Some of them have married the money, and that's how they became wealthy. Like they're just,
And
Some
some
of
of them
don't have money at all. It's just the pretense of money.
Okay, got it.
Turns out they've built their house on nothing.
right. Okay. It felt like also like a lot of these conversations are just the same as young girls, only you could substitute menopause for cramps. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of like, and I went out with this guy. And it was the same thing.
It is. I think that is tough for me. We'd like to hope that we grow and change as
I guess
adults and
yes.
as women. And to hear what looks to be like a 60-year-old or 55, 60-year-old woman saying like,
gorgeous. Gorgeous women.
we have a that kind of relationship. We have, like a pump and dump, like to say, to hear a grandmother.
To see a grandmother with her glasses perched on her nose and a sweater wrapped around her say, "Can you stop saying screw? We made love."
Yeah.
It's unnerving, but also triumphant.
Yeah, because it's like we are who we are, and we don't
you were
change.
saying like these women are getting out there.
Yeah.
Which I applaud.
These are some, forgive me, these are some older fucking bitches going out and having a fucking party. Like my life has never been this exciting. Even when I was party age appropriate, it was never as fun.
Now, these women get out and they get drunk and they get high and they do coke.
Now, where they don't get is past the Upper East Side, because I loved when they were naming all the places that Sonia went with. Oh no, that Ramona went with Tom.
And then Luann, a total non sequitur, is like, yeah, those are all on the Upper East Side.
Yeah, but what was the point of that? Do you want to be right or do you want to be in the relationship? Who cares? You're right. Yes.
Well, I will say that Luann, when it comes to Tom, doesn't want to be right. She definitely wants to be in a relationship. And so she is willing to look past everything.
Not corroborated by anyone. And I genuinely don't even remember who told me this, but I got an email or a text from a friend who said I was at a Hamptons party with Luann and Tom with a friend. They said they're absolutely 100% in an open relationship.
Yeah. Again, we cannot corroborate.
Oh, God, no. Oh, no. I'm sure
can't
that's
even tell you if she
wrong.
really got this.
By the way, I hope they are, because
Andy? Is that right?
These guys are. Why wouldn't they be? Who does she want to be tied down for? What? I hope when I am, however old these women are, that, God bless, love
It's
my
hard
husband.
to tell.
But I'd love to be having as much fun as they are.
I don't know if they're having fun, though. They're out, they're about, they're dating, but they all seem so broken.
And they seem so
broken.
devastated.
Their marriages have fallen apart. Marriages that they wanted. It's not like they wanted. It's not like Tamara. Now, Tamara is, I think, living her true life in OC.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
she's living
With
a happy
Eddie?
life with Eddie. But I think she wanted out of that marriage to Simon. Sorry, Jamie.
Not at all.
But I think these women, Ramona saw herself with Mario for the rest of her life. Sonia saw herself
Ramona
with
didn't
that
see
Morgan.
herself standing up in a black, half see-through kind of
Mesh.
Okay, they were all bridesmaids
outfit
dresses.
just to show a photo of a heart on her hand.
No, that's not where she saw life going. And
No.
so they are out and about, but I don't know if this is...
They don't want to be out
I
and
don't know
about.
what they wanna be.
They want to be home. They want to be with their Christmas trees. Like
They have
making
grandchildren. They have
food.
children and grandchildren. Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Now, this reunion episode was a bit of a filler. Not too much was revealed, I thought.
As often number 2 in a series of 3 is. Now,
Yeah.
Jamie, you were shocked that there was more than one reunion.
Well, I do remember a time during the Top Chef at its height where there was one reunion show, and it was just that they all showed up, and you felt bad for the guy who got cut the first episode, and he said his piece, and
We moved
had his
on.
moment, and
Yeah.
we moved on. And it was 1 hour, and Andy Cohen hosted that too.
Did he?
did?
The Top Chef reunion, yeah.
Back in the day.
I like a reality show where there's a skill and
A skillet.
a skillet.
A skill in the skillet.
See, I never like the ones that involve a skill.
Because I
Fair
can't
enough.
participate.
Well, no, but I admire other people who are watching all the cooking ones, and I'm hearing all about this British Bake Off and this, that. And I've actually gotten obsessively into Ina Garten's show, which we'll discuss later, Danielle. But like, I guess would rather just watching
I'd like to
women
watch-
scream at each
Yeah.
other.
I totally
I
get
do
it.
End of the
too.
day, you know,
At
that's
the end-
me.
That's what puts me to sleep at night. That's what I need to lay my head down on my pillow in here. And if
That's how I get right with me.
I guess, yeah. No, I mean, I do.
I know you're struggling to wrap your mind around this, and you're doing a great job.
and you also know us well and used to respect us a few hours ago.
That's why I think I'm very okay. Well, I don't want. There's no judgment. I watch some terrible things. Okay, so I'm a Naked and Afraid. Okay, I watch.
That's a
Naked
show,
and Afraid.
everybody.
It's a show, and it's the same show every show.
Why are
Same
they
show.
naked?
Just as
Why are they afraid?
they're afraid because they're in the wilds, either somewhere the most horrible places of already horrible countries. So it's Nicaragua, but forget it's like the most fucking bald spot in Nicaragua where there's no water and just lizards and everybody. Here's what happens: 2 people get implanted in a place with just a bag that has a machete and a fire starter and a microphone around their neck. And they're naked.
That's so sweaty. Just like a microphone dangling.
I don't like my bits dangling about.
A lot of bits.
But why are they naked?
Because it's a survival thing. It's the extreme temperatures and shit.
I would constantly be afraid that something was going to crawl up my vagina.
You should be. That's what happens. They get eaten alive by bugs. They always find a snake on like the second to last day. They're thrilled. They cook the snake. They hike their way out. End of the story.
And do they have sex?
Never.
Not
What?
once?
Because it's not about that. His phone is talking.
Oh. What? Siri's come to life and she says, here's what I found on the web for. They're thrilled the snake, they hide their way out. Get out of here, Siri.
I want to know what Siri has to say.
Grandma got her Siri on.
They always eat a snake in Naked and Afraid or a lizard or one time. I mean, that's it. That's the whole story. You've heard the whole show. And they never have sex because it's too cold, uncomfortable, and they usually like only like each other enough to snuggle.
See, I like to see emotional peril.
No, there's no emotional peril. It's just the pain of like surviving.
This gave me an idea. I would love to see actually bring the cameras into like Sonia and Tom's boudoir and Tom and Luann's. Like, I'd like to see more.
I would too. I would like to know what they're saying at night to each other.
And what? No, I'd like to see sex.
I guess when I ask,
I don't know that I can see Luann having sex.
I'd like to see more.
I think Luann is a screamer.
That's why I was asking about how long it takes to shoot an episode. Is like, so they're editing it so.
It's not coming out on the heels. This is like, it all happened
months
7
later.
months ago.
Months
Okay,
later.
that's I guess what I'm trying to catch up
No,
with.
months have gone by.
Months.
I also watched a little show called Locked Up Abroad.
You like things out of the country and with peril.
country.
Locked
like
Up
a
Abroad.
foreign
But there's
show.
more. Here's what I've learned from Locked Up Abroad, which is in the UK is called Banged Up Abroad. They do reenactments with really incredible Canadian actors. And
So you're not seeing the real person?
you do see the real person speaking as like a talking head. And they
Is the actor always more attractive than the actual person that was locked up abroad?
always, but they're really good. And I don't know if they're good because they don't talk a lot in the reenactments and they do a lot of like quick, like angled shots and a lot of shadows. But every story is the same. It's all broke down palace. It's the same thing every time. I'm just going to go, I work at Venice Beach and I'm a bartender. And some guy came in, he looked really weird. He offered me $5,000 to just take a vacation to Peru. Every time they go, they come back with a suitcase full of heroin that they either know is in there, but they just can't say no because they're scared. They've already had their vacation, or they're just like, I don't know what was there. I thought I was bringing home records.
Wow.
And that's it. That's
and
the whole
they
thing.
have enough material to make.
The men always wind up in a prison that is makes the night of prison Rikers look like a Ritz-Carlton.
Wow.
And the men always get the shit kicked out of them and learn to really like stay to themselves, and they learn how to bulk up. And the women always learn a language. And a
So it's
skill.
like an immersion course.
Very much so. The women always learn to take care of each other, and then they sometimes go and help in new prisons.
I like to hear that because I was picturing it more like Taken with the women.
No. The women always like make friends. First it's rough, and then it's orange as the new black.
Okay, great.
I like that. I like to know that women, against all odds, they're there for each other.
Draw lady faces on each other's backs and fuck each other, and the women learn. Oh, you didn't know that?
On Naked and Afraid?
Does the artist who draws
Locked
I
Up
mean,
Abroad.
on Locked
Wait,
Up
does
Abroad?
the artist that draws the best lady face, is he like protected? Like he's like,
Not a prize show. You
Well,
don't
no,
win
but
a
I'm just
prize.
saying that like, if you are really good at drawing lady faces, are you spared anything?
I would imagine that you
wanna-
probably get some sort of extra cigarettes. Yes, I imagine.
Wait,
they
Jamie,
have, what?
go back.
What are you talking about?
What are you saying?
I'm suggesting that there's a lot of sexual violence in male prisons all over the world.
Which I know, but I guess I didn't quite know about that
the
detail.
lady faces?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you know that. I'm so
I didn't
sorry.
know that detail.
You wanna
I
go-
just can't imagine the uncomfortable moment of like, well, let me get my marker out. I'm like, let me get to drawing.
No. I think they're tattoos. I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think
They're not removable. I was picturing like a erasable
by
ink
numbers.
type of situation.
Why don't we
Watercolors?
Picturing like a arts and crafts moment,
Yeah.
kind of a home ec.
It's not like in Mary
Like, is there a-
Poppins where it washes away.
like chimney, chim. Oh, I'm just painting a face on you, governor.
Not like that at all. No, it's more like tattoo.
Oh.
Yeah. So so let's talk about Luann.
Wow. I'm trying to think what else we have from the show, Danielle. What do you have?
I mean, I just said, that I felt like the fact, I don't know, I think I heard it, but just hearing again that Jules physically abused Michael. I don't know why. Like the fact that like he's such a diminutive little monster. I like to picture Jewel kicking the shit out of him. I do. I like to picture her like sticking her feet on his face.
And I feel like when Bethany went into that whole thing about Jules not representing Jewish women.
You're telling me Bethany Frankel is not, she's not Jewish?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't believe, and again, a listener will correct us, or maybe
Andy will.
but I don't believe she is, or maybe she's like half or something, but not in any real way.
Also, I'm not offended by Jules proclaiming her Jewish rationale for not eating shrimp or whatever. I mean, was it worse than that all season?
And she was also joking. I'm not saying there were terrific jokes.
She had some bad moments as a person, but I actually think it's almost anti-Semitic for Bethany to say like you're representing all Jewish women by your behavior.
She was reaching.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bethany was reaching.
She's a horrible person, but
Bethany knows she looks bad. She knows she looks like a monster.
And Jules said you're gonna, or was it Sonia that? No, Sonia goes,
just kept saying you can't say that.
You can't say that.
I love it. Sonia just slumped back. All the other women are like kind of at the ready. Sonia's at ease.
Yeah, she was almost bored.
She looks like Witch Mountain though, right? Am I crazy?
Kim Richards?
Kim Richards.
No, I disagree.
I don't know.
I think Sonia is gorgeous.
I thought she looked gorgeous in this. And I cannot wait to see next week where she goes, I don't want to be in this show anymore.
I love her.
I love her. She was piping in with some hilarious.
Yeah, I like because she was so chill that you can't say that. Or
and like when she was like, I wish Tom would take me out for coffee.
Yeah, like she's like,
Tom's not taking you out for coffee. He's gonna paint a man face on your.
I know.
Where did Tom come from?
Tom is an Upper East Side playboy.
He really is. He's what greets you, ladies. If you're out of a marriage and you are looking for love, he's what greets us.
And I love the part when Andy asked Sonia, how long have you and Luann known each other? And she just goes, thank you. Thank you.
But it's true. But Luann wants to be blind. And that's what I'm saying. Like, she is on the other side of what we were saying earlier. It's like, do you want to be right or do you want to be in a relationship? And Luann is like, not only do I not want to be right, I want to be blind as fuck. And I just want to get married, get that paper.
But if she's fucking around too, isn't this just... What is, I don't know. I just got here. What am I talking about?
Well, I had to bring Jamie up to speed, which was a tough moment. Just as a person that I've devoted so much time and energy to this, when at one point, someone's like, well, what about the silverware? And Jules is like, well, the silverware, that was a bad joke. And I'm like, oh, quickly, Jamie, Jules made a calzone and put silverware in it so she wouldn't have to eat it.
And it still made no, even our explanation, Jamie was like, She's like, what? I'm more confused than ever.
Jules' worst fault is that she just has a horrible sense of humor.
Yeah, and she's sad and she's desperate. I will say that another...
Said with so much concern.
Said with love.
Does she have kids with that man?
She has two beautiful children.
Who is that man, that terrible man she's married to?
He is a monster that Casey once crushed on, but we don't have to go there.
Let's not remember our past. I'm like Luann. I'm looking forward.
I wish that was BL before Luann.
They're either bald or pomaded, the men.
Yeah, there's a lot of product or just no hair to put product in.
And are these men horrified by their proximity to all of this, or are they happy?
No, they're happy,
loving it.
Happiest when in its
I guess what I think is really interesting, and it's when you come into this so late in the game, is it's like it's all about itself. So it's not. It's very meta. It's like it's not about. Everything they're commenting on is the show, is what's happened in the show. You know what I mean? It's
all
the
reunions,
of the show.
At the reunion.
No, but is it okay? So, but the show itself, does that not reference it's the show within it?
No, they're
Never.
very
They
strict about. It's like cinema verite.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, they don't even they won't say, well, on the show she said they don't even acknowledge that there is a show, or like the reunion that for cameras.
But do you see them greeting, like acting like the stars that they are?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Every once in a while they'll be at an event where there's a step and repeat, which is like one of those places where you have
they're
a camera.
never not on the step
But
and
that's
repeat.
usually for a charity event, which you would maybe do anyway. So it doesn't. It's very. These
all
are
very like
upper
small
class.
potatoes.
Right.
Like,
They're socialites.
They're socialites.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that would happen whether a camera was on.
Well, speaking
or
of
not.
cameras on, I thought it was a bit much to see the home video of Bethany that no doubt an assistant took of her crying in her apartment.
Yeah. I mean, do they? How does that work? Does she say, "Okay, guys, I have this"?
Guarantee she's just like, "Let's roll on this one." Follow
Oh
me.
yeah. She was like, turn on the camera. Turn on the camera now.
I feel like I just want to like get this moment on camera.
Yeah, and the system was like, but I'm carrying your skinny
And
girl.
Bethany's
She's
like,
put
send
him
it to Andrew. Andrew had that thing before Bethany was in the elevator.
Yes.
And he was like, I guess we'll show it. Don't want to put words in your mouth, Andy.
I know. I mean,
Feel free to correct me. Okay, you think we're good on New York?
Yeah,
Jamie, do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, too many to really just go to sleep on, but I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to think about it. And then I'm going to write you more questions about just the production schedule.
Great.
That you're really coming back from production manager.
I can't help it. I sometimes
You want to line produce a Real Housewives show?
I want to know what I want to know what it looks like for really stepping back from the picture.
I have those exact same questions, and I wrote, this will segue us to OC, but I wrote something today, which is like, why the fuck can't Shannon and Megan go to Glamis? Like, make them go. When I'm on a television show, they give me my schedule the night before, and you are there every single day when you're filming, no matter what. It's like, how come these women are getting to decide to go to events based on not liking women? Your job is to be with women you do not like so I can watch.
That's, I guess, what I'm trying to figure out.
But here's the deal. If we don't have them not going, then we don't have the drama of them not going.
But what we do have is Shannon and
In
Megan
Glamis.
playing golf in Glamis. Like,
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
All right,
But
we'll
then there
get
would
to
be no
Glamis.
plot
We should
line.
take
We'll take a break.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jamie Denbo.
Thank you so much.
And listen to Rana and Bev. I'm sure you already are, but if you're not, Rana and Bev podcast, it's fucking hilarious.
It's fun. I'm fun. I know more as Beverly than I do as myself. That's it.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back.
Guys, as we said, we are going to dig into OC now. Now, Casey said she cried during this week's episode of OC, and I'm curious why.
I cried twice. I did. I was on the airplane, and I don't know. Something about being in, I don't know.
I will say that I cried watching Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants on an airplane, and I don't know if that movie is cry worthy, but I bawled my eyes out, so it could have been something like that.
I cried when, oh gosh, when I can't even say, I mean, it was really,
You cried.
it's a moment that, well, let's just get right to it.
Okay.
In Glamis, the, what was it? Dune buggy? ATV?
Yeah, all of those things, I believe.
Flips into the air multiple times with Kelly, Heather, Vicky, and Tamara. Tamara at the wheel.
Yes.
Flips in a million times into the air, and it did actually look quite scary.
It looked horrifying. And when Kelly's helmet fell off, that was terrifying.
That was terrifying. And Vicky was airlifted out to Palm Springs Hospital. Tamara was brought to a hospital, which was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really scary, actually.
It was scary. That said,
When I cried was when, in the aftermath of that, they cut to Heather's son, Nikki, and Kelly's son, and he said, okay, my mom and your mom are okay, and I'm relieved. I burst into tears. I don't know. I was just like...
it was a
It was
touching
so
moment.
sweet that he was like, oh, wait, I see my mom and your mom, so that's good. Like, our moms are...
Yeah.
Because that's scary.
That's
and I
so
thought he was such a
scary.
sweet kid, and I was like...
Max. Is his name Max? Or is the girl Max?
Max is their girl.
Oh,
This was
okay.
Nikki.
Nikki, that's
Nicholas.
right. Yes, thank you.
And I was loving him as a character this week already.
Yeah.
When he said to Kelly, like, maybe you can throw up in your own trailer, I thought was funny. And I just thought he was very sweet.
Yes.
And then when he was like worried about his mom and he's like, are you okay? And I was just like, this is hard. I felt, I don't know what was happening to me.
No, that's a moment worthy of tears. I believe so. I didn't cry. Either I'm heartless or maybe who knows.
I think that moment just got me. I don't know what was happening.
But I will say, it's so hard for me to feel sorry for Vicky, even when she is crashed and needs to be airlifted away. Like I will say it. Like, I guess because,
June
it's like,
Diane's not going to like
I know.
this.
June Diane's going to have words.
June
for
Diane's
me.
probably flipping out this episode.
Literally. Well, watching her flip.
She's literally going crazy. Go ahead.
I will say that it's like that story of the boy who cried wolf, where when you've been such a train wreck over and over about such things that aren't real, or your boyfriend said he had cancer and you wanted, and I do believe that she knew, that when something real has happened, I'm like, is this real? I mean, I'm not saying that plane accident wasn't scary. I mean, that dune buggy accident wasn't scary and terrifying.
She was nodding her head quite a bit right away.
Yeah. So, and I'm not saying she didn't maybe have a, like, I'm not saying it wasn't scary, but it's hard. With all the hindsight in the world and knowing that she was okay, because I knew going into the episode that she was going to be okay, because of course we all get the Daily Mail app, but I do feel like it was so hard for me to feel for her in that moment. I was like, oh, Vicky being Vicky. And that's just the truth.
Ooh.
Yeah. Controversial words. Again, I knew she was going to be okay in the end, so it's easy for me to say that.
I don't know. I think I came out on it a little differently. I hear what you're saying. I totally do. I was more angered by the fact that honestly, Danielle, and I know I've said it every time, my hatred for Jimmy is so strong, and I also hate Megan. I hate them so much. I want to call for them to be off the show, as I've tried to do every time. I want to call for them to be put down.
Even Megan now?
Both. No, not Megan, because she's with child, but I hate...
When she is, the child is gone.
I have a rage that's boiling inside of me against Jimmy that is so strong. And then when Heather called them and said, Vicky's in a hospital, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. You're on a show with someone, at the very least. If you know someone faintly and they're alone in a hospital without a husband, you drive 45 minutes. That's nothing to go and be with them. I was appalled. And I know I sound like Heather Dubrow. I don't care. If I know someone even remotely and they're alone in a hospital that they have been airlifted to, and you're on a television show with them, you go.
No, I'm hearing you.
I'm shaking.
Yeah. Casey is
I couldn't believe it.
So upset right now, everyone. You have to know that Casey is very upset. I feel the same way in terms of like, if I know someone is alone in a hospital, I'm definitely there. I do think
I'm definitely there.
Definitely there. I am gonna go. I mean, like the camera's gonna be there.
I'll be at that hospital with Yasmin.
No, Yasmin's a bitch. And I'm gonna be like, cousin, what are you doing? Who calls each other cousin? I have lots of cousins. I refer to them all by their names. Anyway, sorry, I digress. But I think, and again, I'm going to come at it from a different angle, but I also think that Megan, and I think she is a garbage human, and I don't care about her or Jimmy, and I hate them both.
And she's teetering with those testimonial looks. They're quite possibly as bad as Eileen's.
Yes. I would, nothing's as bad as Eileen's.
There's a blue look in this episode, and I want everyone to look past the blue look. It's hard, but behind her is it's a chair in her house with 3 stacked satin colorful pillows. That is the most garish tableau I've ever seen in my existence.
But here's what I'm going to say. Despite her terrible taste in throw pillows on chairs.
And husbands.
As someone just tosses throw pillows on chairs. Not a set decorator or anything but like that. But I'm like, she's so fucking fed up with Vicky. And she thinks Vicky's full of bullshit. Because she was last season.
But they had a nice moment just last week.
I guess.
And I'm not saying all's mended. I agree. And everyone has come down on June and me. And I agree. I don't think Vicky's great. She lied about cancer. I'm not saying that's great.
No,
I'm just simply saying brass tacks. Someone's airlifted to a hospital and they are alone without a husband or their children. You go.
Yes.
And then you figure out your relationship later.
Yes. No, I agree.
And I thought just the way Megan, like...
The casualness.
You just can care for a human being. Is someone okay? For her to immediately, and I realize you've said this as well, but to be like, Vicky's dramatic. And Jimmy's like, I'm not going. Honestly, I want to murder Jim. And I know that's not cool in these times. I hate him so fucking much. He makes me want to reach across and pull his face off.
I did feel like I saw
I think it's unconscionable to even have him on the television show. Wow. Yawning like he's coming off a red eye when he finds out he has a baby.
Yes.
He's a disgusting piece of shit.
He is. I mean, he's got lots of kids by different women. And I think all he's thinking is, I don't want this kid. That's what I think he's thinking in general. And so, but then don't marry
have
this
it.
woman.
And don't marry this woman and all of it. He's so, his droopy lower lip makes
both
me sick.
Of them
don't open their mouths.
Yeah, no, they mutter everything.
She's like, oh my God, Jimmy.
They're just like that. And he's like, babe.
She's like, it's so crazy. I could have a baby right now.
Babe. It's always babe.
She's looking to a spa you can
Glamis. I don't want to go to Glamis.
Heather every time is like, what are we going to do about Glamis? I was like, oh, glamorous is a word I never knew before, but I can never not think of now.
I will say that Glamis is my version of hell. Just a bunch of rednecks in a desert. Like I fear it. I'm bad at it.
Don't you know who they cut to right off the bat? They're like, head into Glamis. And I hate to say this, and I know it was sparked by you saying redneck. And I think she's a great woman. And I cried again when, yes. Yes. Bingo. Yep. Okay. When they cut to her, like, of course, with a brewski, like tending to the Barbie. But I did cry again when she said to Kelly, she said, and I thought my daughter only saw her boots.
Yeah.
I cried again. Was it the airplane guys?
Again, maybe I don't have a heart, so it's hard for me to figure it out, to find the middle ground. Okay. My heartlessness and your sensitivities.
No.
Somewhere in the middle might be the truth.
No, I think I was just out of it. I went to a funeral this morning.
I know, and that is true too.
I think I was just sad.
You were, but those were big moments. I'm not saying that they didn't mean anything. Like, yeah, to see your daughter and just see her on the ground and see her boots, like that would be terrifying.
Danielle, as you describe it, it's horrible. You're like, but all the same.
I just was like, I don't know. I guess because I knew the end result.
I guess I suspended my disbelief. I'm like, are they okay? Will Tamara get to do her weight loss competition with her?
The answer is yes.
Non-belly buttoned self.
People are shocked by her lack of belly button. Shocked.
It's a big topic of discussion.
It is, and I'm just like, so she doesn't have a belly button. Like, I don't know why I'm so nonplussed by her non-belly buttonness.
I know.
But other things that happened on the episode.
So much.
So I think this is shocking. Shannon had hospital grade air in her old house.
That was the best.
That was, to me, why I've been watching The Real Housewives all these years. Because I need to see things that I could never possibly dream of.
And here's her quote. She goes, yeah, we're moving. I'm not going to have the amenities I'm used to. Not going to have hospital grade air. Not going to have crystals buried in the floor. And am I happy about it? No. 13 days. Shannon has now just taken to screaming her testimonials.
I wrote that same thing. I was like, Shannon screams all of her lines.
And I love it. And I love that we call them lines.
I know, lines.
I really am having fun with her. Again, Heather, too much. To bring your own RV and have your personal chef. The best was when Kelly, it was like a really quick moment. She just looked at what Heather's chef prepared all of Heather's meals for her, like with full tilt instructions on them. And I don't know. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it if I could, but it just was not the right spirit. No. Again, I was weeping. No. To go on a trip with people and then...
not for Glamis. It wasn't for Glamis.
Not for Glamis. And so she's pulling out a thing and Kelly looks at it and Kelly goes, you need instructions to cook a hot dog? I was dying.
Tamara had a new testimonial look that I would like to talk about.
Which one?
The black and white one.
Oh yeah.
Now, I remember I had a piano teacher that wore a piano scarf. And it smacked of that. It looks like a piano scarf that she was wearing, like with, piano keys on it. Like that was the vibe she was giving me. I hated that look.
To me, she was saying, I am no longer like chasing my youth. Yeah. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. She was like, I'm a different person now.
And she really has been. I'm not saying she's perfect, but she has become this other person.
It's crazy. And I guess we have to credit religion, honestly, for her.
Good. As I like to say, God bless.
Because when I saw Kelly get out of the car and like jump up to her and they were going to Glamis, I'm like, God, Kelly is smacking of Tamara, old school Tamara. Yes. When she was just like
Simon Tamara.
Yes. Kind of just frankly rough around the edges, rode hard, put up wet.
Yeah.
And now here comes Kelly.
Bad relationship.
Yes. And here comes Kelly. Just the same. Oh my God. The scene where Kelly and her husband are looking for windbreakers. Oh. Two amazing things.
I thought that guy at the windbreaker store was quite good looking.
I didn't even notice him.
I spy with my little eye. That cutie. I was like, who's he?
I'm going to go take a closer look.
Yeah.
I noticed at one point when they're like, Kelly and her husband are browsing through windbreakers, they're talking so casually about Shannon and David's vow renewal. Yes. But like so friendly. They're like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, they renewed their vows. Oh, that's good for them. Good for them. Meanwhile, last time they saw them, she was screaming, you're such a dumb fucking blonde.
Yes.
I mean, they had
she was no wonder your husband cheated on you.
That's the last interaction they've had. And then there they are.
That's nice.
Looking at windbreakers. Like, good for them.
I felt when they finally got out of that, that camper van that went 3 hours out of the way to Glamis, when they got on and Eddie was there and she ran and gave him a big hug, I was like, she's living her dream. She was in this terrible relationship. I think what Brian Safi said last week really got to me, that like these are women that we don't get to see on TV a lot, and like just kind of living their lives. And here's a person, I don't know why.
You're putting her down to build her up.
Yeah. But like she had this terrible life. And I wonder if not for the Real Housewives, she would have ever been able to get out of that terrible life with Simon and have this wonderful new life with this man that she really loves.
I agree. And I genuinely hope she works things out with her daughter.
Yes, that's true.
I do. And I was really thinking about her like an old friend. Like this whole episode really reminded me. Remember when she went and visited her mom?
Yes.
And they had that dark discussion about her childhood, if you can remember. And I believe she was sitting on a cooler.
That sounds right. It tracks.
But I was like, wow, Tamara's come a long way.
She has. She has become... I'm not a girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she has become a full person.
When
I'm proud of
Kelly
her.
was throwing up in the trailer, I really was laughing.
I was nauseous. I was going, enough of this woman gagging, and then Vicky gagging later, like everybody fucking gagging. I was like, ladies, this is not why I'm watching this show. I was like angry.
I loved it. I don't know. I was like, this is hilarious. I could watch it. I was hoping it would start a chain reaction.
Like in that sort of like Stand By Me way. Like everybody vomiting on each other. No, I was like, get me out of here.
I love when after all the wreckage, Heather yells at Kelly for getting a beer. It's like, yeah, she was just in an ATV like freak accident. I'd have a beer as well.
Oh yeah. Well, at one point though, she was just like, Kelly was like, she's gonna throw up on me.
That was the best. And then she was like, I mean, her neck is hurt.
Yes. She's gonna throw up on me. Like the accident had just happened. And I love how we were so scared about Kelly's helmet falling off. And then she's like, well, I mean, I did loosen it. I did take it off. like we track back to like, oh no, she didn't have her helmet strapped on. Of course it fell off. Yeah. Of course it fell off, Kelly. That's what happens when you don't strap on your helmet. It's like, yeah.
And I love Vicky talking about Heather. Heather, I did feel it was just kind of gross. I would not have the balls to roll up with friends who are camping in my own trailer like that. With
neither would I.
It just, to me, again, tone deaf. But at one point, I like how Vicky in her testimonial was just like, I'd love to be a princess. I'm never going to be a princess ever. I'm going to work until the day I die. So sad.
Oh, so true.
It's amazing. Vicky's looking so good.
Vicky looks amazing. When she was in that like tank top,
I was like, damn, girl.
I was like, I know this is like her glamorous look. Like she's
when she was getting loaded up onto that board and brought up into the helicopter.
I was like, what's happening?
And they put that neck brace on her. I was like, damn.
No, but when she had like her glamorous look, and you could tell it was a very cultivated look that she was like, she spent a lot of time in her closet finding that look, perhaps shopping for that look. She looked great.
I know.
That girl's doing it.
Heather is starting to a little bit. I'm growing tired of her withering takes in the testimonials where she's kind of doing a B. Arthur now. Like at one point, Tamara's like, oh, you can buy a trailer, you can buy an ATV for Nikki. And it just cuts her and she goes, hilarious, Tamara. And I'm not even doing it justice. That was a bad impression of it. She's like, aren't I a dry one? It's just like, ugh.
I like that you say her B. Arthur. But
that's what I can feel in her head. She's like, and here I am doing the funny comic takes.
I will say that when the accident happened right afterwards, she took charge in a way that I was like, yeah, Heather, like you want Heather on your side when shit goes down. I do believe that she was clear-headed. She was concerned.
100%.
And that she was in charge. And I did feel like, she makes sense. Like, I don't want Heather, I don't want Heather around me most times, but in an emergency, I can see her.
If I'm in a dune buggy accident.
Which I'll never be, because I'll never be in a dune buggy.
I want Heather there.
I do. I want Heather there.
I totally agree.
And also, you know what, Tamara, let's stop driving crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to stop with the dune buggies and the golf carts and everything. Like, let's get right.
I agree. That glamorous trip was just doomed.
It was doomed, right?
I'm trying to think, is there... doomed. I just got it. I'm trying to think. Well, I think... Was there anything else this episode?
I don't think...
Oh, I was... Kelly,
the name
Kelly
of the
and Michael, they're just not cutting it.
No.
And neither to me is Jimmy and Megan, as I've said.
No, they are.
These are second-rate, janky excuses for housewives. Like, Kelly is reminding me a bit when they, again, hate to go back to the Windbreaker store, but when she
Devin,
tripped,
the employee, that was his name. I wrote it down.
Devin! When Kelly tripped and she's like, ooh, have a nice trip. See you next fall. I'm like, Kelly, please don't. And then right on the heels of it, Michael, her weird ass husband, was like, she's like, oh, we need a windbreaker. And he was like, oh, because I break wind every day. I was like, oh,
I don't need to see
back, uncomfortable
I don't need their
jokes.
comedy stylings. I don't need them. I don't want
I prefer
them.
Slade and Gretchen for that kind of stuff. If I want that,
Gretchen with her shorts and leg warmers.
I would love to. They are a breath of fresh to me.
With her ice skater dresses.
Honestly, I'm good watching her scoop her coffee into, do her little freaking stupid coffee pods.
Her purses.
Her dogs. She always had like a, so sad. Like, and I'm not saying I have this too. I'm just saying, like, when you're seeing all these housewives like closets, I don't have that.
Yeah.
I like shove everything
Gretchen
in one closet.
was too much like me, like in the terms of like this, like I'm living in a townhouse.
She had like a shoe thing, like I can't even describe it. It's like a plastic strip on the wall with different holes poked on it with like different purses hanging off.
Yeah, I mean, which is what I have.
Like all
I have a
jumbled.
bag of, you know what I mean? Like I have like a Target bag of my jewelry. Like that's what I have.
And
I don't need,
that's great.
but I don't want to see my housewives. I want them to pull out a shelf in a Lisa Vanderpump way and like and showcase them, like have a store in their house. Like that's how I want to be seen. I don't want the housewives to be like me. I want it to be aspirational. And Gretchen, as much as she tried to be aspirational, was not.
No, I don't want to see her filling those orders.
Of those plastic purses. Remember when we ordered her earrings and we put it on and it fell off? Like fell apart in our hands.
The earrings like dove out of my ears. They didn't even want to be there.
No.
Oh man, guys, I mean, there's just so much. I feel like we're going over, but we do have something very special.
Yes, we sure do. Now, guys, there is a birthday in our midst. We were contacted by a lovely woman who, her and her best friend are huge Housewives fans, and they're even having a Housewives birthday party. So, this is from Carol Ann to her friend Lucy. Happy birthday. And she loves you and she wanted us to say happy birthday on air. I'm not going to read you the whole email, but she just said, I just want to say happy birthday. And can you guys, it would make her day if you guys said happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And we hope you're listening. Hi, Lucy. Happy birthday. And Carol, and you're a very good friend and have a great birthday. There's having a reality themed, TV themed birthday bash. There's going to be a video confessional and there'll be name tags labeling people such titles as butler-in-law, health advocate. They may or may not be wearing caftans.
You know what we never talked about with everyone, which we should?
What?
Is your husband Matt's idea, which is that for the next reunion.
Yes.
Guys, if you're watching with anyone, be it a Whispering Aileen, be it your own friends, your family, whoever, your husband, if you want to take a little selfie of yourselves watching, you can just tell us anything, what you're loving about the reunion, say hi, anything. We want to make a little video compilation.
Yes. And you can send it to where? Our Facebook? Send it to...
How do you get in touch with us?
Okay, I don't know. Maybe to I think my Facebook. Send it to my Facebook.
Or my Facebook.
Yeah, private message us on our Facebooks. If there's a problem, we'll try and figure it out. But yeah, tell us.
Send us a little quickie video.
Yeah, quick.
Quick, less than
fast.
5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds, 10 seconds most.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, we'd love it.
Guys, this has been such a special episode.
Yes, thank you to Jamie Denbo.
Amazing guest. Thank you to Sir Andy Cohen.
Yes. Thank you to Matt McConkey, our roving movie critic.
4 stars always, and I give him 4 stars always.
Always. April was with us.
Mouton,
who we
amazing.
love.
And look, really quick, we didn't get to Jersey tonight.
No, we didn't. But Chaffin, we love, and she has a funny thing, and we'll double up next week, and we'll do both next week.
We just didn't get to it.
No, there was other things.
We are who we are, and we know what we know.
And we know what we know.
Yeah.
And that's all we got to know.
That's all we know.
So that's what we know.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Hey folks, it's me, Mark Maron. And if you love podcasts you don't want to miss, now hear this. A really big podcasting festival coming in October to the Los Angeles area. Come see me and lots of shows you love. More than 30 great podcasts live on 6 stages. It'll be a weekend full of laughs, storytelling, and your favorite hosts up close. You've got Earwolf favorites like Comedy Bang Bang and with special guest Lauren Lapkus, plus more great shows like Brilliant Idiots, Criminal, and The Moth. And I'm doing a special WTF as well. Do a VIP pass for meet and greets with your favorite hosts. Sit up close in reserved seating. Hang out in the VIP lounge and get more special perks as well. It all happens at Now Hear This, October 28th through the 30th in Anaheim, California, right near Los Angeles. Don't miss it. Go to nowhearthisfest.com to buy your tickets. Okay? Good. Great.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.